Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Training, Colleges and Universities. Minister, our government has made a clear commitment to learn from the past, build on our success stories, and increase our efforts to help Aboriginal learners get the education and training they need. That is why it is imperative that we continue to collaborate with our Aboriginal partners to support the programs and services that are responsive to the diverse needs of Aboriginal learners across our province. I understand that your ministry has made significant progress on this front since launching Ontario's Aboriginal Post-Secondary Education and Training Policy Framework. Many constituents in my riding of Burlington, and indeed all Ontarians, are interested in knowing that our government is doing to increase Aboriginal access to post-secondary education and skills training program. Minister, can you please inform the members of this House on how your ministry is supporting Aboriginal learners in Ontario by providing equal access to high-quality post-secondary education and skill training programs? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Minister of Training, Colleges and Universities.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank the member from Burlington for that question. I want to begin by saying, Miigwech, our government is committed, Mr. Speaker, to providing high-quality post-secondary education and skills training to Aboriginal people in Ontario. Last year, we invested more than $30 million in the Post-Secondary Education Fund for Aboriginal learners, and an additional $5 million to ensure that post-secondary education and training remains accessible at Ontario's 9 Aboriginal institutions. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, through Ontario's Aboriginal Skills Advancements Program, we are collaborating with our Aboriginal partners to support up to 100 post-secondary and training programs, and investing $3 million annually between 2015 and 18 in the Aboriginal Skills Advancements Program in the Ring of Fire area. Mr. Speaker, later this year, my ministry will release a report to highlight what our government is doing to improve quality and culturally relevant post-secondary and training opportunities for our Aboriginal communities. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the Minister for that answer. It is reassuring to know that our government is committed to providing high-quality post-secondary education and skills training to Aboriginal Ontarians. Minister, partnerships are at the core of our government's efforts to increase access to opportunities for Aboriginal people in this province. Investing in the talent and skills of First Nation, Métis and Inuit learners is one of the many steps of Ontario's journey of healing and reconciliation with Indigenous peoples. It is also important in terms of our economic development and our prosperity as a province. I understand you recently visited Six Nations Polytechnic to make a historic announcement about Aboriginal post-secondary education in Ontario. Minister, can you please tell us more about what you announced and how it supports our government's commitment to promote Aboriginal post-secondary education in Ontario?
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, I want to thank the member for that question. Mr. Speaker, our government strongly believes that the First Nations, Métis and Inuit learners deserve equal access to high-quality post-secondary education and skills training programs. Mr. Speaker, just recently I visited Six Nations Polytechnic with my colleague Minister Zimmer and yourself, Mr. Speaker, to announce that for the first time in the history of this province, Six Nations Polytechnic would be able to offer a standalone Bachelor's of Arts degree in Ogunwe-Howe languages starting this year, Mr. Speaker. I am proud, Mr. Speaker, to say that this standalone degree supports the recommendations of the Truth and Reconciliation Committee's call for post-secondary institutions to create degree programs in Aboriginal Indigenous languages. Mr. Speaker, this is the first step in a plan to offer a 4-year Bachelor's of Arts degree in Ogunwe-Howe languages. Thank you.
Thank you.